Hey team, happy Saturday. Yesterday, I was all dressed up. I promised after the shift show that I would come back on Saturday, even though I'm ultra casual. I promised you I probably would be. It is pouring rain in Connecticut, um, nasty weather, and I've gone from physical therapy to running some errands to um, med spa to home and had some lunch with hubby, watched a quick show, and then got back to organizing some stuff around the house and doing this video. And then I am heading to the kitchen to start cooking some food. And I haven't decided exactly yet what I'm cooking, but um, one of those errands was going to the grocery store and getting a bunch of uh, vegetables. I can't speak. Vegetables. I also got a pre done meatloaf so that if I'm too wiped out tonight, which I might get to be, we could just have a pre done meatloaf for dinner. So I had promised I would come back on and talk about this event I went to on Thursday night and tie it into our theme this month, which is habits. So I went to see Michael Pollan speak, Pollan. He's written a bunch of books. And his overarching theme is around how do we as humans honor nature, primarily through food, but definitely a plant philosophy. He is not vegetarian or vegan. Ironically, he said his 7 words for about eating are eat food, not too much, mostly plants. And he said that he ticked off the vegetarians because it should be only plants. And then people eat meat, said, well, what about meat? And, you get the drill. And that's, I guess, the society we live in now. Everyone's got an opinion. So I thought it was very interesting that you could boil these things down to just that. And um, so we talked about food, and there were 3 Fairfield U professors sitting up on the stage interviewing him. It was very, very interesting. And primarily, he focused on his newest book, which I'm going to forget what it's called. So anyone can feel free to tell me, and then I will make sure to put it in the chat. I apologize. But his latest book is all about hallucinogenics. And it might seem like this is a giant jump, except that when he's talking about hallucinogenics, he's primarily talking about from plants. So mushrooms. Um, I am not going to be able to say any of these words correctly, so I'm not even going to try. Let's just leave it at mushrooms. And here's why I went to hear him speak, and then I'll talk more about what he talked about. I went to hear him speak because um, I just didn't know much about this. And what's happening pretty much daily, sometimes more often, is on my business page. I'm speaking on my personal page right now. On my business page, I get what I'm sure are bots. Lots of information about how mushrooms cured my child's ADHD. And maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I don't know for sure. I can tell you that the only place you can really um, legally use mushrooms in this country is Oregon. And I have a philosophy in life, one, that I will always be learning, and two, to stay open to things. And since I know nothing about hallucinogenics and I know a fair amount of people who are interested in this topic, we went with friends. Um, the friends we went with are very open to many things. They are open to THC gummies, which is fine, great, good for them. Um, I personally don't derive any benefit from THC whatsoever. And I've even tried CBD also, and CBD also no benefits for me. So I'm kind of an unusual constitution in that some meds I'm completely allergic to, such as amphetamines. So I am a completely unmedicated ADHDer. Not completely, because I take other kinds of medications, but I don't take medications for my ADHD. I am totally in favor of people taking medications for their ADHD. I have asthma. I take an inhaler. I don't find that to be any different. Um, so it was very, very interesting to have this opportunity to listen to someone who's written a lot on the subject, who has actually gone and researched things, who has actually used them, And he has actually said that what he, a lot of actually there, gosh, what's with me today? He said that, um, by the way, I've been like this all day. I really have a lot of squirrel brain today. He said that he will not recommend that you grow mushrooms at home and do this yourself, that you really want to be in the care of psychiatrists, people who are um, deeply knowledgeable about these things. Because what happens is, first of all, you got to have a whole bunch of therapy ahead of time. They have to determine whether you're really sturdy enough. Can you manage the experience? And then it's hours together. So you have the medical professional with you while you're doing this. And the reason that is because if there's trauma in your past and you don't, you may or may not know about the trauma, it could get triggered. And then you're triggered and you're by yourself, that could lead to some really dark places, which I would strongly recommend against. It is not easy to unpack trauma. I have done this. I have unpacked trauma in my own life um, with extreme care with medical people to make sure that I was safe while I was doing it. And I think that's really, really important. I don't know that I'm suddenly going to go try mushrooms. Probably not. First of all, I don't live in Oregon. And second of all, it doesn't really hold any appeal to me. Because so many things don't really work right medication wise in my particular body, I think it would be highly dangerous for me. So I just am not going to do that. That being said, it's my belief that in time, more and more people are going to be interested in this topic. And as an ADHD coach, it's really important that I'm aware of what's out there in case I ever get a question and I can at least speak to that piece. You need to be under medical care. If this is something you want to consider, then these are the things I'm going to recommend you do. And then they're going to go and get the therapist and do their own thing. And that I wouldn't be coaching someone through any. Oh my God, I definitely don't want to be coaching anybody through this. I'm not at all trained in how to do any of that. But I bring this up around habits because um, one of the new habits I'm trying to build is to look at my personal life with the same curiosity that I look at my clients' lives. And that's to think, isn't that interesting to stay open and curious? And in the coaching field, what we believe is that our clients are naturally creative, resourceful, and whole. That's why we can bring curiosity to them. But in our own personal lives, it can be very hard to bring curiosity because, of course, we're all up in the motions, right? There's all that history. We have things going on. Um, it could be that we're triggered because we're exhausted. I'm pretty exhausted this weekend. I have to be very honest. And I've noticed that I'm not as on my game. When I'm tired, my ADHD is much more noticeable, and I've really been noticing it today. I knew this yesterday, and I came home and I was going to do all this work, and I didn't do any work because I knew I just had to rest, and I kind of just couch potatoed all day yesterday. Um, I'm not going to try to do really any heavy work today except to talk to all of you, which I really wanted to do. And then I'm hoping to take this video, honestly, and like run it through Descript or some other methodology so that I can then use it for my e-newsletter tomorrow because I have a feeling I'm not going to have much energy in the morning to write it. And it's our plan to do something fun tomorrow since today has been sort of about errands and things around the house because the weather is horrible. It is supposed to be lovely tomorrow. So, um, back to habits. Uh, I have an accountability buddy for this particular habit. For this, isn't it interesting? And it is the same person who I walk with. She's very much a trusted friend, and it's been great. And I want to suggest to you, if you're trying to build a new habit, uh, having an accountability buddy is a really good thing to do. She and I started as well friends. We've been friends for a very long time. Um, she had broken her ankle and I had fallen down the stairs and injured both of my Achilles tendons. That was fun. And so the two of us, plus her dog, who is now a senior dog, we all needed to be out walking to gain our strength again. And we had to start really, really slowly because we were both injured. It was a major deal to get back on our feet and start walking. And now we're up to over 2 miles, and sometimes, well, our goal is to get to three. Once in a blue moon, I get to about 2 and 3/4. Um, I'm hoping to get back up to three again. We're obviously not walking today. I might do some yoga. We're going to see how the time goes today. But um, it's okay to take a day off, by the way. It doesn't mean it's not a habit if you take a day off occasionally. So don't ever feel guilty like, oh my God, I took a day off because it's pouring rain and I don't want to work out today. That's fine. I did other things to take care of my health today. And remember, I said I'm feeling really, really tired. It's been an intense week. So, what was the other thing I was going to say about accountability? Yes, I'm cracking myself up today with this brain. I have to tell you, it's been really funny to like observe how my brain isn't that interesting, right? Isn't it interesting how my brain is all over the place today, and how I can listen to my body that's saying I'm tired because my brain is going woo. Anyway, so if you have ADHD, I get you. Not to worry. Having an accountability buddy is an awesome tool for people with ADHD because it's got that extrinsic accountability factor to it. One of the things I do for my clients is I run something called the Productivity Power Hour, which we meet 4 mornings a week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Sometimes, if I can't make a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday or something, I'll meet on Friday, but very rare. Mostly, I like my Fridays free. Sometimes I'll double them up. Um, it just depends on travel schedules, and sometimes my assistant will run them. And what a productivity power hour looks like is we all get on to a Zoom session. We say what we're going to work on briefly. Then we all shut off our microphones. We can see each other, but we can't hear each other. And then for 50 minutes, 50 minutes, 50 minutes, we work. It's kind of like the Pomodoro method, which is working for 25 minutes, taking a 5 minute break, working for 25 minutes. I used to do that. The problem was it's extended beyond an hour, and everybody really wanted to be done in an hour. And what we found as we worked as a group was that 50 minutes was a perfect amount of time for us to be able to really focus in and work. And then at the end of 50 minutes, I tell everybody 50 minutes is ended. And then I ask how everybody did. It's great because people get things done. So, like one of my clients had come to me and said, I'm never getting paid. I don't understand. And it ended up she wasn't invoicing her clients. And so she would come to Power Hour, one of the Power Hours during the week, and she would invoice clients. And a few weeks later, hallelujah, she was getting paid, which is awesome. So people really do have an opportunity to get things done that they don't really like to do. I often will bring bookkeeping or taxes or things I really can't stand doing. Sometimes I'm doing things I absolutely adore to do. It's just that it fits in that time frame. Um, One of my clients gets a lot of organizing done around her home office when we're on. She's just not going to get to the paperwork without that extrinsic accountability. Um, there are lots of ways you can use it. It's a very forgiving, ADHD friendly space. People don't judge. Sometimes things come up. You get a client phone call and you can't get to the project you were planning on working on. It also affords me the opportunity to watch my clients and see what they're bringing to Power Hour. And if they're not bringing any of the projects they said they were going to work on and those projects aren't getting done, then it's the chance for me to say privately in coaching, hey, I've noticed something. Um, you've been coming to Power Hour. These projects aren't getting done. Are you sick of the project? Do you not want to work on it anymore? Where are you at? And if it's, oh, I'm just not getting it to it, well, why don't you bring it to the next Power Hour and let's see if we can, make some headway on that. So that's the other way to use it as a tool, which I really love. So extrinsic accountability, great thing for people with ADHD or anyone who's really overwhelmed, who doesn't want to do something. You got something where you're stuck. Phone a friend. Phone a friend. Or join me in the Get More Done accountability group where you can do this with a really nice group of people at 10 a.m. Eastern time, 4 mornings a week. I think that's really all I have to say on this matter. That is one of the habits, ways that you can use. You can use external accountability, extrinsic accountability as a way to get things done. ADHDers, we struggle with motivation, with getting started with tasks. It's all related to executive function. I've already talked about that in past videos. Feel free to go find them. Um, the easiest way probably is on my YouTube channel, which is the little ampersand sign. I think, no, that's not an ampersand. I don't know what an at sign is called. Forget that, Catherine Avery, CATHERINEAVERY. I'm constantly putting up new content. It tends to be organized more than you would in a Facebook, because in a Facebook stream, it's just kind of like you see all the posts and all the things. But you can check that out. You can subscribe. You can share with friends. More and more content is going up. I'm creating more and more content to go up onto YouTube. And actually, right now, this is a YouTube Live. So where am I streaming? YouTube Live, my Facebook group, and Facebook. Um, so get a buddy, phone a friend. You don't have to like stay and body double and work. By the way, the body doubling comes from Judith Kohlberg. You could instead text a friend. I'm going to work on X. Contacted me at 3 to see how I did, and then they contact you at 3, and then you connect again. So that is another option. If you don't want to spend money, I believe you can go on FocusMate, which you can do 3 times a month. It's the same concept, but it is you just don't know who you're going to get. So you don't have a regular group of people. You're not working regularly with a coach person like me. If you're going to get more done accountability, by the way, there's 2 other things I often offer with it. One is group Q&A coaching in the 2nd week of the month. And in the 4th week of the month, which is literally now, it's coming up on Monday, I'll be offering our monthly planning session, where we get together and we choose the 3 goals we're going to work on for the month. So it is truly an accountability group with a certified ADHD coach. So you have that in your pocket. If you have questions, you can reach out to me. Like I said, you can check out my YouTube channel at Catherine Avery. And I'll be back in a few more days, and I'm going to talk about another one of the strategies we can use for habits. We've covered, I think, 2 or 3 so far. Today's was extrinsic accountability. I hope wherever you are, it's not pouring rain. And if it is, I hope you are inside safe and sound, and that you have a wonderful Saturday if you were here in this time zone. Sunday, if you're over where my assistant is, she should be sleeping right now. She better be sleeping right now, because she's in the Philippines and it's 4:13 a.m. Have an amazing day. Great to be with all of you. Shift those habits.